Alright guys, on today's video we're going to do a shootout. We're going to do a Rupes versus the Porter cable. Now most everybody when they start doing polishing on their cars, compounding, they always go for the Porter cable, and it's a great option. It's pretty much, it's low cost, it's easy to operate, it has uses the standard pads, it's got the Velcro backplate here. But when you want to correct faster, when you want to do it quicker, you can move up to something like this. This is the Rupes LHR 15 Mark II. This is the newer model that came out. It's got a couple additional features. It has the bumper here where you can lay the tool on its back so it doesn't flip over. It also has a 15mm throw. Now if you're not familiar with DA polishers, you know that they kind of lightly spin. They're not gear driven. What is gear driven is the throw, which it's kind of like the movement that you do with your hand. That's how come they don't swirl like a rotary buffer would. So this has a 15mm throw, which means it'll go 15mm that direction. I believe the Porter cable has like a 6mm throw. It's very small. What does that mean to you? That means that this will correct a lot faster. You'll be able to correct more damage than you would be able to with this, and you'll be able to do almost what you could do with a rotary buffer. When you use a rotary buffer, you're almost always guaranteed to put holograms and haze up the finish, whereas with this you'll be able to do that complete correction without having to use a rotary buffer. The model of Porter cable that this is here, anyway, it's a 7336 if you want to know. Porter cable. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do the back of the 2012 Accord. We've already washed the car. We're going to clay bar the car. We're going to wipe it down with an IPA solution, and then we will show you what kind of damage that we have here. It's hard to see, but I'll use a light and show you how swirled up it is as soon as we get it cleaned. Alright, so I'm using a mixture of distilled water and Optimum no rinse as a detail spray / clay lube, and I want to show you what's on this piece of clay. Yeah, that thing is nasty. So what he's going to do is he's going to go ahead and fold that and knead it just like that. So we're going to go ahead and finish clay barring this. It's already super smooth compared to what it was, and then we'll be right back. So we've got this clay barred. It is super smooth. It feels like oiled glass. Next, we're going to take an IPA solution, 50% isopropyl alcohol and distilled water. We're going to wipe this down. Make sure that there's nothing on the panel before we start polishing. So we'll go ahead and wipe that down. This will just ensure that there's no wax or oils on the paint. And the polish would remove that rather rapidly, but it would load the pad up, and we're trying to prevent loading the pad up. So that's why you want to do this step. You also want to do this step after you finish polishing, before you apply your paint sealant. So I backed this out in the sunlight. I wanted you guys to see how badly swirled. Okay, so we're going to do, this side's going to be the Porter cable side, and this side is going to be the Rupes side, but it's really, really, really swirled bad. Alright, so backing the car out in the sun, I've changed the focus so it's not on autofocus. Hopefully it will convey how swirled up the finish is. I've got the sun. If you'll just look around where the sun is, you'll see the swirls. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and pull this back in the garage where the paint can be cool, and we'll go ahead and start polishing. All right, so he's going to work the polish until the polish pretty much polish is going to break down. And we're about at that point now. He's going to finish this last pass, and then we'll use our IPA solution and wipe the panel down. We're going to go ahead and wipe the panel down. You could have used on the Porter cable a microfiber cutting pad. It would probably cause you to go behind it with the orange foam pad just to remove the haze, but it would cut a little quicker. Okay, so next I'm going to do this side with the Rupes, and then we'll pull the car back out and let you guys see the difference. Alright, we've got the Rupes. I've got 3 dots. We've primed the pad with some of our detail spray. We're going to do the exact same thing. He's going to go ahead and blot the panel. Spread it out a little bit. It's on speed 1, so he's going to go ahead and work the polish to spread it out. Now this machine is much smoother than the Porter cable. If you're going to do this all day, or you're going to do a lot of cars, now he's just going to dial it up to speed 4.5 with, there you go. He's going to do the exact same thing we did with the Porter cable. It's just going to take far less time. And we'll be right back. All right, we're going to go ahead and wipe the residue off the panel. Okay, so this took about half the time that the Porter cable took. So when we get out in the light, we're going to see if we have the same level of correction. It's a very good chance it will be. Alright guys, I hope the camera is picking up what I'm seeing. This strip that's right here is where it was not done. Okay, this side is the Porter cable side, and it's probably, I don't know, I'm going to say 60 or so % better. And then this side is probably 80% better. This is a case where a microfiber cutting pad is going to be your best friend, because it's so swirled up that it's going to take another pass on this side. But I just wanted to show you guys the difference in how the double time that it took over here with the Porter cable, and it's still not as good as on the Rupes side. So we're going to go ahead and get this panel completely done, and then we'll come back and show you the results. Alright, so I went ahead and we finished the panel off. There are a few little scratches in there that I wasn't trying to get out, but I was trying to get out the majority of the swirls, and it removed probably 90% of them. I just wiped it down with an IPA solution, and we're going to put the Adams paint sealant on here. What's the takeaway for this? I think the takeaway is that, number one, if you want to correct the panel much quicker with less time involved, then you would do very well to procure you one of these machines. Far better than the Porter cable. Could the Porter cable get this done? Yes, but it would take a lot longer, and plus your hand is going to be completely toast from the vibration of the Porter cable or any of the other cheap DAs. So anyway guys, I appreciate you watching the video. If you haven't subscribed, do so. We try to come out with new videos every week. I'm going to try to do that twice a week, and I will see you guys on the next video.